Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Department in the Spotlight. I'm Captain Lloyd Mack, and with me is,
Command Master Chief Daniel Irwin.
and I'd like to say a special welcome to our Special Agent Albert Wong. He's the head of our NCIS department here at NF Atsugi. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Captain.
All right, so we'll get right into it. First, could you provide an overview of what NCIS does in support of the United States Navy?
Well, NCIS supports the Navy and the Marine Corps in several areas. Probably the most visible one is felony level criminal investigations. We conduct felony criminal investigations in several areas, such as drugs, economic crimes, death, family and sexual violence. But we also conduct proactive operations to detect some of these crimes. In the area of national security, besides espionage investigations, we also work with commands to protect their sensitive research and technology.
Okay.
And for combating terrorism and force protection, besides terrorist investigation, we also work on open base events, port visit support.
Yeah, I know. We got one of those coming up soon, right? Bonadori?
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, that sounds good.
Yep. And a relatively new area is cyber. Cyber addresses basically the same kind of threats, criminal threats, national security threats, and terrorism threats, but in the cyber domain.
Right.
For example, traditionally, if somebody's burglarizing your residence, trying to steal your possessions, they go right into your home. But these days, cyber criminals would illegally access your bank accounts and steal money from it.
Yeah, I'm constantly on guard and worried about that. Yeah.
So basically, our cyber department handles threats in the cyber domain, but they also try to leverage social media for our investigations and operations. These days, social media has a lot of information, has a wealth of information about individuals. You don't know what you can find. Oftentimes, important information for our investigations could be found in social media. And likewise, they also try to do forensic analysis on seized electronic media. For example, if you have a parent suicide case, you may be able to find a suicide note inside the victim's computer. And so these are the threat area, the mission areas that we help the Marine Corps and the Navy on. But how do we do that? We have approximately 2,000 personnel in NCIS located in more than 190 places in approximately 41 countries.
Wow.
Okay, so we go wherever the Navy and the Marine Corps go. Because of our worldwide footprint, we have to globally engage our partners. We can't do everything by ourselves. So we work very closely with our foreign counterparts, as well as local and state agencies back home.
So I have to ask, with the show NCIS and the spin-offs, how's that helped as far as recruiting and getting more agents for NCIS?
Well, before the show, we were not very well known, but after the show has come about, these days we have absolutely no problem recruiting. Even if we open our announcement for like 2 to 3 days, we get thousands of applicants.
Wow, that's impressive. So I guess one of the other questions I should ask is for operating here in the United States, how is it different for NCIS as opposed to in Japan? What is the difference between operating here and operating in the United States?
Well, we definitely work very closely with our Japanese authorities counterpart because we are bound by the Status of Forces Agreement, which is like a rule book on jurisdictional issue agreed upon by the U.S. and Japanese government. For example, in criminal investigations, the Japanese authorities would have primary jurisdiction or concurrent jurisdiction on, say, drug cases. So we definitely have to work with them. And if we are interviewing non-SOFA person off base, or if we are doing searches or crime scene, we definitely engage the Japanese authorities. And likewise for force protection, during open base days, we have the Japanese police and the immigration assisting us with screening visitors.
Okay.
And as you know, this base is a joint base with the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force.
Right.
So if there's any threat issue, we definitely work with them to mitigate the threats.
Okay. Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want to tell us about regarding the NCIS?
I think that's it. That's a general overview of NCIS.
Master Chief, do you have anything?
I have nothing to add. I just want to say thanks to the Special Agent for his service to us. We can't do it without him.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm certainly glad that we have you on board, assisting us, ensuring that we understand what the threat level is here in Japan, as well as the countries around us. It's very important to national security. So again, thank you for your service, and thank you for joining us here today.
And thank you for your support, Captain. Thank
All right.
you, Master Chief.
Well, with that, we'll close out this week's edition of Department in the Spotlight, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.